So it sounds like California's two biggest fat cats are clawing at each other. Check out this piece from the Wall Street Journal. Like two cats circling, Kamala Harris and Gavin Newsom weigh a 2028 showdown. They claim to be friends, but many expect a gloves-off brawl should the two decide to run for president. And one guy who's worked for both politicians says, quote, if they ever run in the same race, it will be a murder-suicide, God forbid. But the Democrats' dark night might crack Gavin and Kamala's party.
Only way that you get to true gratitude is to be grateful for all of it. I'm grateful that I was a crack addict, and I don't say that with even the slightest bit of irony or I get to approach you, and you get to see all of me. I've just broken down every barrier that you could possibly have to find a connection with me. That's beautiful.
Axios notes how Hunter is charming his conservative critics with his new X account, and the former first son is calling himself the MAGA whisperer. So, Jessica, real quick, no notes. You can only pick A, B, or C. Gavin Newsom, Kamala Harris, or Hunter Biden.
Gavin Newsom.
Really?
Yeah, it is. I get it. They're all terrible or whatever. When you all make the same choice, you're staring at me like,
none of the above.
No,
no, you don't. That's not an
I'm
option.
Team Hunter all the way.
Okay. Well, I'd love to hear that out.
Do you think Hunter Biden has a shot?
No, and I don't think Hunter Biden wants a shot. I think Hunter Biden is living freely, having conversations with whoever he wants. He's trolling a bit. He's defending his parents when he thinks that that's necessary. He's putting some conspiracies to rest. Like I liked his line about, of course, it wasn't my Coke in the White House. I'd never leave my drugs behind. And he's in the YOLO phase of his life. While I think the art is struggling a little bit.
So, Greg, he also had a pretty funny tweet the other day talking about how he wishes that people that superimposed a crack pipe in his mouth drew the proper crack pipe.
Yes, he's quibbling.
Yeah.
I think that's a minor detail, but I'm gonna do a full-throated defense of Hunter in this comparison of the other two.
Gavin,
already
Kamala,
forgotten their names. Hunter, number one, is the reverse of Plattner and the reverse of Gavin Newsom. We know everything about him. We've seen him at his worst. It's all out there. But Plattner, it just keeps unfolding, and we know nothing about Gavin Newsom. And there's no story of recovery, just covering up. That's what you have with those people. Plattner shouldn't be running for office. He should be running for rehab. He could be running for office because he can face the public. You got it all. You can see everything there. Also, let's talk about competence. This man raised millions and millions of dollars, worked all around the world while being a functioning crackhead. So, I thought I was a functioning drunk. Hats off to you, fella. It really is interesting that how addicts are supremely competent. And this is why when they get cleaned up, you have to give them a second chance. You cannot condemn Hunter Biden and still embrace RFK Jr. You can't shut the door on Hunter and open the door for RFK Jr. They were not too different. They both had insane drug addictions. They both treated people pretty badly. They did crazy stuff while they were using. They had a family name. And I wasn't crazy about RFK Jr., but I liked his story of redemption a lot. And I think that with Hunter, I think, he's truly sober. I don't think you can fake the story on gratitude the way he was talking. And there's one thing I know about him. He's not woke. Judging by his lifestyle, he's not woke. But he's got to deal with one thing, and that's the kid. That should be the biggest. If you're sober and you're talking about gratitude, the biggest thing in your life is writing that thing.
Yeah. And he is a gun enthusiast, which is a plus.
Until he's blaming it on an illegal.
Yeah, exactly. Kaylee, Gavin Newsom likes to now talk about California derangement syndrome and claims that it's Fox and Republicans who are tearing down his state that he's been governor of. When we're in a primary season here, and Republicans have had nothing to do with the demise of California.
Nothing. It's passing the buck. It's completely wrong. He has been governor since January 7th, 2019. He has had 7 years to right the ship. And instead, he's blaming those beneath him. Oh, abdicating responsibility. It's the mayor. It's the mayor. Well, Gavin, we know this. There was a public document from your own government that was given to you several years ago about a hospice fraud crisis. It was dozens and dozens of pages. It gave him a map showing hospice all on one street in California. He did nothing about it. That's just one example of many. You get to affordability, homelessness, poverty rates, migration, tax, education. California is behind on the pack. Yeah. But this is a murder-suicide. I love the way the Wall Street Journal framed that. And when you look at it, they compete on book sales, apparently. They compare numbers, Kamala and Gavin Newsom. Not only that, they talk about, when Joe Biden dropped out and Kamala tried to call Newsom to secure his support, he tweeted back, hiking, will call back. And then when he said, no, wait, I did call you back, Kamala. You said I didn't call you back. I texted you back. She texted him on book tour, get back to you later. I mean, these are very snubby responses to one another. And then I'll just end with this. He didn't speak at the convention, and he cited a scheduling conflict. We are about to witness a murder-suicide on a debate stage in 2 short years in the Democratic Party. And the dark knight, not Hunter Biden. The dark knight is AOC. That Atlas Intel poll, I know it's an outlier, showing her as #1 in the primary pack. That's the Democrat to watch. It should scare every Republican, every independent. AOC is the dark knight.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.